You close Instagram or YouTube, put down your phone, and a strange feeling hits you. What is it? A little more anxious? A little emptier? Maybe even lonelier than you felt just a few minutes ago? If you felt that, you're not imagining it and you are not alone. A wave of new research is sounding a major alarm. According to Pew Research, a quarter of young girls report that social media is actively harming their mental health. And it is not just youngsters. A 2024 poll from the American Psychiatric Association found that about 30 to 50% adults feel lonely every single week, with many pointing to technology as a complicated factor. But here is the most important thing you need to understand: that quiet sense of dread or inadequacy that settles in after you scroll through an endless feed of perfect lives or imperfect lives. It isn't a glitch in the system. It's a core feature. It is engineered result of a machine built to capture your attention and monetize your emotions, often at the direct expense of your well-being, your physical health, your mental health, and your overall good well-being. Today, we are pulling back a curtain to look at that machine itself. We are not just going to talk about the feelings, we are going to dissect the psychological design that creates it. We will explore the psychology of social comparison, the neuroscience of addiction, and the very real crisis that is causing millions of people to go through similar experiences. Most importantly, we are going to walk through and talk about how you can fight back, reclaim your mental space, and change your relationship with these powerful platforms for your better. The real illusion. Let's begin with that scroll on YouTube or Instagram. You open an app and are instantly pulled into a vibrant, fast moving world. A friend is on a breathtaking vacation you could never afford. A former colleague just announced a huge promotion at their dream job. You see the pictures of an amazing wedding at a location that you cannot even dream of visiting. You see flawless selfies, perfect family pictures, and exclusive parties that you will never get invited to. You get lost in this non stop cascade of success, beauty, happiness, fitness, and the so called illusion of perfect. As you watch, a subtle story begins to form in your mind. Their lives seem so full and exciting and amazing, while your own life, with its messy realities, broken relationships, unhealthy conditions, and private doubts, suddenly feels dull by comparison, and you start feeling like a loser or failure. This is the first and perhaps the most powerful weapon in social media's arsenal: the highlight reel, or what I call it, the infamous illusion of reels. What we see online is not reality, it is a curated gallery of best moments. You will see that to get that perfect moment for the reel, they must have taken a minimum of 25 to 50 retakes. That smiling family photo, it's the promotion announcement and the stress free life and that happy, joyful, successful life. These were all just taken for the real and for the public. People naturally present the most polished versions of themselves. The problem is, our brains often fail to make that distinction in that moment, and we get lost in that highlight reel illusion. But our subconscious still absorbs it as a whole truth. Like sometimes when you're watching a movie, you get lost in the movie and you believe what is happening in the movie. Psychologists call this powerful human tendency social comparison. We determine our own self worth by measuring how we stack up against others. Historically, we did this within a small group of people within our local society, like our neighbors, our colleagues, or our immediate family and friends. But social media has supercharged this instinct. We are no longer comparing ourselves to a handful of people who we have direct connections with, but now we are comparing our own behind the scenes struggles to the curated highlight reels of thousands of strangers who hire professional help to make them look the way they look on social media. Research consistently shows we tend to engage in upward social comparison, comparing ourselves to people who seem to be doing better than us, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy, feelings of incompetency, feelings of loss. Studies show this is hitting young people particularly very hard. One found that 40% of teenagers said that images on social media cause them to worry about their own body image. Imagine a young woman named Sarah having a quiet night at home. She feels a little lonely and she opens Instagram. The first post she sees is an influencer with a seemingly perfect body on an exotic beach wearing that exotic swimsuit that shows every toned muscle on her body. Next, a video of friends. They're all at a party, laughing together, dressed in designer wear, holding their most expensive handbags, and then a high school mate's engagement announcement with the beautiful pictures of the newly engaged happy couple radiating out of those images and reels. In just a few minutes, a quiet loneliness has twisted into a sharp cocktail of envy, self doubt, greed, jealousy, and anxiety, and aggression and anger sometimes. Sarah's inner voice begins to tell her, why don't I look like that? Why aren't my weekends as exciting as theirs? Everyone is moving forward. Why am I single and not engaged? She closes the app feeling worse than when she opened it. This is not a personal failure on Sarah's part. It's the predictable outcome of a system designed to fuel constant unfavorable comparisons, pitting our real lives against a collection of manufactured fantasy. The engineering for addiction. If you can feel so bad, why do you keep going back for more? You should think about this. If I know that just a highlight reel can make me feel anxious, or it can make me feel envious, or it can make me feel inadequate, then why can't I stop scrolling and looking at more and more of these? This is where the design gets more insidious. It's not just about what we see, it's about how these platforms are engineered to keep you addicted to watching more and more and more of such content. They are built to get you addicted to their platforms. The core of this design is the manipulation of a powerful brain chemical called dopamine. Is a neurotransmitter in the brain's reward system. It releases when we experience something pleasurable. And social media platforms have learned how to trigger this chemical in our brains with frightening precisions. Think about the notifications, a like, a comment, a new follower. Each one provides a small fleeting burst of that dopamine in your brain. It is a social validation that you are getting addicted to. But the true manipulative genius isn't just the reward, it's the unpredictability of it. This mechanism is known as the variable reward schedule. And it's the same principle that makes the slot machines in those casinos so addictive. You remember those coin slot machines that go ching, 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 ching? You keep putting in the coins, you keep playing the slot machines, you keep losing your money, and you are done with all your coins. You go get more coins. It is the same mechanism that casinos use. You pull that lever because you want to think that you will win the next time, and that unpredictability and uncertainty keeps you hooked. And this is what gets you to get addicted. Social media functions in the same exact way. When you post a picture and you don't get a like, and you're waiting for that first like, you're counting on your fingers the seconds, the minutes, sometimes the hours when you will get that first comment. It is that same feeling of addiction. When you refresh your feed, you don't know what your new content is waiting to give you. This unpredictability keeps your brain excited and craving for the next potential reward. I call it the infinite scroll. That's a perfect example with no bottom, no end, no stopping point. And it's dangerously easy to just keep scrolling, keep looking at that screen, and keep getting addicted to these platforms. The algorithms of these social media platforms, they are the engines that are driving this addictive loop, and it is that magnetic addictive loop that is pulling you deeper into this addiction. Their primary goal is to keep your eyes on the screen for as long as possible. That way they can play more advertisers on your screen, the way they are making the money. It is chiching, chiching, chiching into their pockets while you are losing your time, your peace of mind, and your mental health. They track what makes you pause, what makes you like something. They have the sophisticated algorithm models that know you better than you know yourself. They know you inside out, your desires, your triggers, your every little secret. The algorithm then feeds you the perfectly tailored stream of content to keep you engaged because they need to get that chiching, chiching, chiching into their pockets based upon your pocket and your time. If it learns political outage grabs your attention, it will show you more of that. If it senses that you have body image insecurities, or you have issues with your hair, or you're very conscious about the color of your skin, they will prey on that vulnerability. They will show you more feeds that are related to these insecurities, and they will promote more products that will be around these insecurities so that you spend your money, your time, and the outcome of that is your bad health. This is creating a loop that is endless. It's a spiral loop of dooms scrolling. This entire system is amplified by the fear of missing out, which is more commonly known in my generation as FOMO. The constant stream of friends' activities creates a persistent anxiety that you are not online, you are being left behind, your life is not as fun, you do not have that charisma or personality or body or that success or that wardrobe or that wealth that can also get you the same kind of experiences. This fear of FOMO compels you to check your phone again and again and again. Not always for pleasure, but to soothe that anxiety, to soothe that distress, to soothe that uncomfortable feeling that is coming across into your mind. It isn't an accident. It is designed to make you feel like that. It is at the center of the world that never stops. These social media platforms have progressed so much with their technology and artificial intelligence that, trust me, when I tell you they know you better than yourself, I mean it. Problematic social media often uses mirrors the signs of traditional addictions, cravings, interference with daily life, and continued use even when you want to stop. You lose control on yourself. You do not control yourself. Now, social media starts controlling you. This is a mental health crisis. So, we have a system that sparks negative social comparison and is built with addictive psychological tricks. What is the real world cost? The evidence is now overwhelming. Numerous studies have linked heavy social media use to a sharp rise in mental health problems, especially anxiety, depression, and many other mental health related conditions. Individuals who spend over 3 hours a day on social media, they face double the risk of experiencing extremely poor health outcomes, mental, physical, and spiritual. For youngsters who spend more than 5 hours on social media or on any digital device, the risk of depression climbs even higher. This connection is not mere a coincidence. In one powerful study, when students limited their social media use to just 30 minutes a day, they showed significant reductions in both depression, anxiety, loneliness in just few weeks. Adolescence is a very vulnerable age. The teenage brain is still developing, especially the prefrontal cortex, which governs the impulsive controls and emotional regulations. This makes them more susceptible to addictive designs and more sensitive to the highs and lows of online validation. During this critical time of identity formation, social media represents a world where worth is often measured in likes, followers, comments, externalizing their self esteem and making it very fragile. Teenagers, in particularly girls, they face heightened risks. They are more likely than boys to say social media has hurt their mental health and confidence. The intense focus on appearance, clothings, looks, the algorithm push toward idealized body types, we can have a devastating impact on them. Studies show that a significant percent of teenagers or youngsters say that social media makes them feel worse about their image, body image, mental health, which can push them towards things like eating disorders, mental health conditions, getting into addictions like drugs, alcohol, and becoming sexually promiscuous at a very young age. The impact doesn't stop when we put our phones down. Widespread social media use before bed is known to disrupt sleep, which is a cornerstone for good mental health. The blue light from screens suppress melatonin, a hormone that makes us help fall asleep. Beyond that, your mind can be left racing with thoughts of comparisons, outrage, anxiety, depression, envy, anger, aggression, and the list is endless. Poor sleep then in turn worsens the symptoms of many mental health conditions like anxiety, depression, and it creates a vicious cycle. Ultimately, these platforms they erode your sense of self. We are being trained to live performatively, viewing our experiences not as moments to be lived and experienced, but as content to be captured and posted on social media. This can create a large gap between our authentic offline self and our polished fake online persona. Researchers call this self discrepancy. And the larger this becomes, the more likely you are going to experience mental health conditions, chronic ones, especially for anxiety and depression. We are being pulled into a game where the rules are rigged and the rewards are fleeting and the control is in their hands and the cost is your health and your time and peace of mind. Now, how do we take back control of our life? It can feel like we are trapped in a game that we cannot win. But here is the most important part of this conversation: you are not powerless. The solution isn't necessarily to delete every app, but to shift from being a passive consumer to becoming a conscious, intentional user. It's about taking the control back of your attention and to use social media platform for your benefit rather than the other way around. You be in control of your time, your mind, and be very conscious about what you're looking at on the screen. So, how do we fight back? Here are 5 clear strategies that I want to list out for you. Number 1, curate your feed mercilessly. Your feed is something you control. Act like the bouncer of your mind, the bodyguard of your mind. You clearly curate and clean up whom you are subscribed to or following for each social media platform. And reason with yourself what is the benefit you're getting out of following such influencer or channel owner. How does it make you feel? If the answer is it is giving me anxiety, stress, I feel headache, I feel inadequate, then immediately unfollow them. Mute them and do this without guilt because your health is your number one priority and nothing should come in between you and your health. Then actively seek out and follow the accounts and influences that inspire you, educate you, entertain you, that give you positivity. And when you watch their content, it makes you feel better about yourself. You make the algorithm work for you and not the other way around. Second, you create fiction. These apps are designed to be frictionless. Your job is to throw some sand in the gears, turn off all non essential notifications that buzz on in your pocket, and it is a manufactured interruption designed to pull you back into it. Be very careful about which notifications you've set to be on. Move your social media apps off your home screen and into a folder that is on the last page of your phone. That tiny bit of extra effort and that tiny bit of effort to make sure that you don't want to look at everything that is buzzing for notifications makes you be in control, and it's a subconscious reflex that will help you get better at handling this. Number 3, set clear boundaries in time and space. The infinite scroll is limitless, so you must create your limits. Put a timer on your phone to make sure that you do not scroll a specific app for more than X number of minutes. I do it for 10 minutes. Use your phone's app feature and use this as a daily allowance. You should allow yourself to be on social media as a reward for yourself. So you should be doing few things that are benefiting you, whether it is exercise, whether you're engaging in some kind of hobby, reading a book, or engaging in some kind of activity that is outside of digital devices. Then you reward yourself with X number of minutes on social media. Studies show that limiting the use of social media 30 minutes a day, it can significantly have impacts on reducing the feelings of depression and loneliness. Create a no phone zone and time, and the first 30 minutes or the first hour of your day, it belongs to you. It should always be about your well-being, not to the digital world. Do not switch on your phone the moment you wake up. Keep your phone out of reach. Keep your phone in that location of your home which is on the other end, where you have to walk a minimum of good number of steps to get to your phone. Protect your sleep. Put it away during meals. Do not use phone when you are eating food or when you are in a get together. This is actually a habit that you need to inculcate. Number 4, shift away from passive scrolling to active connection. There is a huge difference between mindlessly consuming strangers' content and actively using these tools to foster real connection. Passive use is consistently linked to declines in well being, and it is a mechanism to pull you into this vicious circle of addiction. Active use of social media, it is used to exchange direct messages with friends, or using a group of people, or building a community which has real authentic value in your life, and it can improve and strengthen your mental and physical health. You learn something from these connections. Before you open any app, you ask yourself, what is my intention? What am I going to gain from it? And how am I utilizing my time? If you're doing this to just kill your time, then you're setting yourself up for a trap. You're falling into the hook of that endless addiction that the social media platforms want you to fall into. Because through your time and through your attention is how they make money into their pockets. If you're switching on your phone to wish your cousin a happy birthday, then you're using the tool for the intention it has to be used for. Connections, real connections, build real connections. You have to understand that real connections are not made on social media. Social media relationships are just fluctuating like the weather. And finally, the fifth strategy, practice the reality check in. Social comparison is a deeply ingrained habit, but you can build a mental muscle to fight it. When you see that flawless selfie, pause and tell yourself, that is a great filter she used. And you know what? She looks better without that filter. This one was curated for that moment, and it is not the reality of that person's life. Remind yourself that behind that photo is a complex human being with complex struggles, and you don't know how many times they cried or they were upset before they took that perfect picture. This simple act of mindful awareness, it will defang you. It will remove that tube of addiction and comparison, and it will bring the control back into your hand. And do not allow these tools and technology to diminish your self-worth, to make you a puppet in their hands, to control your time, and to use your time to make chiching wealth that falls into their pockets. You should take the control back of your life, your mental health, your overall well being. So let's do a quick recap. We've seen how social media is designed to make you compare your life with the real lives, and you get addicted to the endless stream of manufactured perfection of fake narratives. We've learned that these platforms, they use the principles similar to a casino slot machine to hook your brains and keep you scrolling endlessly. We have hard evidence that this design is fueled to increase crisis of anxiety and depression and loneliness in your life. But this is not a story of despair, it is one of empowerment. Understanding the design is the first step to overcome it. You have the power to transform your relationship with technology, your relationship with social media. You take control of your feeds. You take control back of the time you spend on a certain influencer or YouTube channel. You find the return on investment. We call it the ROI in the business world. You create the friction between you and social media, set boundaries, prioritize real connections, and practice reality check ins. This is how you take back your control. This is not about rejecting technology. It's about being the master of the machine, not the slave of the machine. Your life is not a performance. Your worth is not measured in likes, subscribers, or comments. Your reality, with all its beautiful imperfections, is valuable just as it is. Now, I really would like to hear from you. What is that one strategy that you would use from our video today to help and protect your health and to build this good relationship with social media? Or what is that one change that you plan to make after watching this video? Share it in the comments below. Your idea might be exactly what someone else is needing to hear today to help them better their lives. Let's become a community of well being. Let's go together on this journey of excellence, you and me together, we, the community. Thank you for listening to this video. Please like, subscribe, and share. We look forward to hearing from you, and we hope you become part of our community. Thank you and goodbye.